I am reading my poems today from my home on Salt Spring Island, an island in the Salish Sea, situated on the traditional and unceded territory of the Hul'qumi'num and Senkotan-speaking peoples. Salt Spring Island has had many names, including Chuan, which means facing the sea, Tuam, San, Clatham, Wenanets, to name just a few. I'm going to start with some poems from my book Labyrinth of Green. All that quiet, he says. Light fades imperceptibly through the forest dome. In time we are wordless. The glimmer of chorus is all to be heard. Ears naked to the trees, while the dark horse of our too busy days balks, then bolts. This home, our dwelling place, tucked in the labyrinth of green, how it presses on with certainty, following the in-breath, verdant and timeless, a spring leaf in a treasured book, opening to this very page. Home is where the heart lives. We may search for restless decades for this one soulful place, not a building or location, but an interior space, a harvest that allows time and breathing room to move. For me, home is a West Coast temperate rainforest on a Gulf island in the Salish Sea. I first became an islander more than half my lifetime ago. How long this magic light hangs in the conifer boughs, dancing in autumn windows, our house settled deep in this labyrinth of green. From the north panes by mid-afternoon, twin arbutus glisten wet and orange, more totem than trees, leaves brittle, still suffering the drought. Remnants of feline prey litter the walk as my cat prowls most evenings, golden orbs, carnivorous heart. We feed what is left of the tiny bones to the fire, flame-sounding percussion beats, while the flotsam of an after-summer yard goes up in awe and amber. Smell of burnt leaves alive in our hair. Patrin's secret leaves still hang in the moss-clad alder. Last year's gypsy scent mingling with branches. Parallel fictions. We scatter feathers at the base of her trunk, marking the way to a lost world, and now found in genes, in blood, how the narrative persists. Nature, the flora and fauna of this lush island biome, feeds my poetry. Birds often visit and find their way into my poems. Remembering quail. My grandmother's note cards traveled cross-country. A family of quail, brushstrokes painted in black ink, handmade paper, ochre landscape with cerulean skies, tucked in my cedar chest 4 decades ago. From her astral view, she sees me now, living next to a thicket, hatchlings in ground nests, feathers scattered down this rural cul-de-sac, free from fence lines, a last stretch to Earth's near paradise. Her handwriting careful as her voice, quiet between lines. When memories darkened, she painted prairie skies, a quail's plume curling forward, a mating dance in early spring. We laugh now, recite rhymes in backyard fields, down rows of sweet corn, like we always did. sleeping in turns. I walk the fields, avoid a blustery beach, high tide. My feet drenched all the same, legs achy with midwinter damp. The home stretch an indeterminate blessing. My head tucked deep to break the side glance sting of rain that whisks and blows, dips down to near sleet. Ahead waddle 40 geese, I count them twice. Wild and wayward water birds, a life too easy here to migrate. Neighbors might prefer to shoot, but the meat too tough, too lean to eat. One stray branta blocks my path, is sound asleep. Left foot and spindle leg under wing, head and bill lost in plumage, balanced in one-legged pose. By dusk, the same flock flies V's, winged family of the marsh. Nights I listen as they stir up orisons, the prospect of a moonless night. I am content, knowing they are there, holding that pose, sleeping in turns, from dusk to dawn, then back again. You must wait closer to dusk. Measure the light between fingers as it slips behind Zuhalim's ridge. Crooked peak and shadows fade, hoarding light on the west slope. Be sure you've packed well, rations for the days to come. You should not be surprised when sheets of rain slap no warning. Squalls will move like the sudden pitch of your old man's skiff. When in that darkness of northern winter, you fetched bait at Loy's corner store in Ketchikan. A boy thinking you were a man of the sea, while ice crystals formed on your knuckles and you bailed your dory and tears froze before they tattled on your fright. This mountain is genius, clever twists every which way, leading to the summit or not, hiding what can't be found. I'll be halfway along the scree, slow fire ready, the smoke will tell. Plenty of time to set our camp, counting sundogs that mark time, confound the distance. You will like it here. It is all we really have. Almost dusk, evening sky awakens a half moon of pearl light. I retreat to the garden beds as I do most nights this abundant May. Quench my thirst for night air, welcome the rows of purple iris gathered at the edge of winter's garden. Revelation of color, confident and tall, long-stemmed and happy for the drink. Water unharnessed from vintage artesian, my fan nozzle set to rain, flowing from the heart of the aquifer, never troubled by the weight of the world. Deep in the forest edging the wetlands, a skein of geese stirs up a fury, vying for a corner of the marsh. Raspy honks join the chorus, iridescent frogs and electric trills, just as evening begins to settle. I tip my glass of Foster's tawny, toast the work in each flower's essence, how long-buried bulbs give way through blue and violet eyes. Behold Vincent's brushstrokes, St. Paul de Mossol, his final here. The brief bird of beauty at the height of bloom. stripes of yellow and frangible white, irises reminding us more than the world's asylum. This jeweled flower, once lost in snow, a gem on the far edge, now flying blue flags, dreaming le soleil.